Hi everyone, so our results are in, and unfortunately after our second round of IVF and our embryo transfer, which is probably the last video that you saw, we are not pregnant and it didn't work. But I'm here to tell you what the last week was like and what we did to cope, so let's go. So today, a week ago, the 13th of November, we went for the blood test the morning, and I have to say that the last 2 days that we had to wait before we received the results were terrible. It was so nerve-wracking and I had heart palpitations and I was so stressed. So to be 100% honest, when we received the results, even though obviously I was very disappointed, I was also very relieved to finally just know what the answer is. Even though it was a no, I felt like such a load was lifted and such a weight was lifted off my shoulders that I could just carry on and deal with the news, but that waiting was nerve-wracking. Obviously, you watch our videos, you know how many times I've been on repeat and how many times I've said, I really hope this results in a pregnancy and I really want to be pregnant. Obviously, we wouldn't have gone through all of this if we didn't want to really have a baby. But unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way. I'm being honest, the previous round where I had that whole video where I was crying and everything, that was much worse for me because it was such a shock, and I don't know, I can't say that I had a feeling that it was going to be a no. I never had a feeling. It could have gone either way. I really didn't know. So when we received the results, I'm sure most of you who have gone through infertility recognize the feeling I'm about to explain, but you kind of feel like, sounds about right. Not right, but it feels so familiar because it's always been a no. So I wasn't brave enough. I chickened out and I gave Franscha the phone and I asked him to phone the nurse to get the results. And I could overhear her over the phone telling him, yes, unfortunately we received the results and we're very sorry, but it's bad news. She's not pregnant. Not even a little bit. I don't know if that's possible, but it's a no. So obviously I was disappointed, I cried a little bit, and Franscha was also very disappointed. And he also has lots of things going on in his life at the moment. We have a close family member that's in the hospital at the moment, so we try and go visit as often as we can. And through all of that, Franscha also got the flu twice. He was literally healthy for 3 or 4 days this past week and then started all over again. So I have to admit he's going through a much tougher time than I am. But he's also much better now, and we've started to deal with the disappointment of going through all the procedures and this entire journey and then once again ending up not being pregnant. But you know what? This is what our channel is about. This is what our story is about. This is what our testimony is about. Our channel's name is The Upside, and we really try and look for the positive sides of everything. And through this entire journey, so many good things have come from it. We've learned how to be patient. Our faith has grown. We've grown closer to each other, you name it. Also, so many people are involved in our story and are praying for us, and I really hope that it also strengthens their faith to, in spite of not seeing results, to persevere and to really be determined in prayer and to hope for the best and to really trust God for a miracle in this situation. As with many other situations, we are not under any false illusions to think that we are the only people going through this even. But besides that, we know many people go through different struggles, and it's hard. It's really difficult to keep on believing and keep on having hope in spite of you not seeing any results necessarily. For me personally, I started this journey, and honest to God, this is the truth. I said, Lord, I trust you. I know that you know best. and that things will work out as they should. Now, human nature, we kind of make plans in our own head and we say, let it work out as it should, but it would be a good idea if you make me pregnant now because da, 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 da. So you have your own ways in which you want him to act on these plans, if I can put it that way. But I truly said, I trust you, and whatever will be, and I will take whatever you give us and whenever you give it to us. And along the way there are bumps in the road. It's not always easy. You don't always understand. We don't necessarily understand why. Go through all of that and pray for the embryo, and then there is an embryo and you get your hopes up all over again and then it doesn't work. So obviously there are questions and sometimes you feel frustrated, but I have to say I feel this is the time to walk the walk. So I've talked the talk, now I have to walk the walk. And I'm being completely honest about my feelings about this, and I truly feel that it just wasn't meant to be. It's difficult to say, it's sad and it's disappointing, but as the doctor also said, if the chromosomes were normal, then I would have been pregnant. I'm not, so maybe something was wrong and it's for the better. I'm not saying that you can't still believe for a miracle in spite of things that are wrong and that they can be fixed almost, but in this case it didn't work and that's it. That's what we have to deal with, and in spite of that we're not giving up. We still have hope and we will never give up on having a baby and to keep that dream alive. We will, however, definitely not do IVF or ICSI again right now. The rough plan is to try again in a year's time. Maybe you know us and you know that we change our minds quite often, but at the moment that's where we're at. We are going to try naturally again and see what happens in the next couple of months or the next year. And we've gone through a tough year as well, with Francia finishing with the chemotherapy and then doing all the tests. And this year was pretty much the project of getting pregnant. That was pretty much what most of the things that we tackled were about. And we went to see the doctor, and as you've seen in my previous video also, it takes a lot of time to actually plan this and to monitor your cycles and everything. So it was very strict schedules. You have to do the injections and the ultrasounds. So it's quite nice to now to just relax and to just have a break, with no urgent issues at the moment. It's almost December, it's almost Christmas and New Year's, and my birthday is also early January. And on the 10th of December, we are celebrating our 5th year, our wedding anniversary, where we celebrate being married for 5 years. So we've booked a weekend and we're going to celebrate that. And yeah, we're really just taking our time. Even last Sunday when we found out, we just, you know, focused on the fact that we have each other, that Francia is healthy, that we are together, that our relationship and our marriage is stronger than ever. So we're really celebrating what we have. We're celebrating the upside, while we are honestly and realistically also dealing with our disappointments. I really believe, I read it this week, might sound very corny, but it said you're not born a winner, you're not born a loser, you are born a chooser. So I think time heals all wounds, and maybe you don't always choose the perfect thing right away, but eventually if you give yourself time, you see things in perspective and you can choose how you want to deal with things. And we are choosing to look forward, to look ahead, and not to look back. If it just causes damage and hurt, and there's nothing you can do about it, why focus on it? So we don't have any regrets. I would have done it exactly the same way we did this year. I don't feel it was a waste of time or a waste of money at all. I think we did what we could, and we feel good about the fact that we tried and that we went that route. And we are so grateful for all the support and everyone who really truly invests in our lives, invests time and really spends time with us and sends us lots of messages and support. We truly appreciate that, and I believe that one day when we are pregnant and we have a baby, that it will be your victory as well, because you are hoping for the same thing with us. Unfortunately, Franco is not in the video today because he's feeling very sick. He has the flu, so he is man down. I heard this week also, they said, you know why it's the woman that should give birth? So that she can know how it feels for a man to have flu. So he's man down, and I'm taking care of him. The lunch is in the oven and we are going to have a nice meal, and then he's going to take an afternoon nap. We just came back from church, and we're just taking it easy, and he's focusing on getting healthy again and just resting. So we will obviously keep you updated with everything we're doing. Hopefully we have time to take the camera along and to also make a video about our I almost said honeymoon. What do you call it? Oh, anniversary. Anniversary weekend. We're going to a lovely place, a nice getaway, and hopefully we can do some kayaking and swimming. There's a river across from the road where we will be staying, so we look forward to that. And also it's the end of the year, so lots of end of the year functions to look forward to. And yes, I think just the upside to all of this, there are so many things, and I can speak for minutes and hours on end about everything that we can be grateful for, but we're dealing with our disappointment and we are looking ahead, and we are excited for what the future holds and to tackle that adventure together. The last couple of months we focused a lot on our fertility journey playlist, and we've made a lot of videos about that, but we're also keen to do some more traveling videos and some Q&As and other fun things. So please subscribe if you want to follow our journey, and we believe we will be pregnant in the future, so that you can also be there to witness that and to share in our joy. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and to like this video. Bye!